Hello everyone, this is Florida Kayak'n coming at you again. I wanted to do a little how-to video today. I gathered so much information off YouTube from everyone, and I just wanted to give something back. And what I have here today is I got the Bonafide SS127 Kayak and also the Boonedox landing gear. Boonedox came out with a special edition just for this kayak, and I modified it a little bit from what their instructions was. It better fits my needs, and I just wanted to show you what I did and how I did it. So let me gather everything up and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I wanted to say one thing before we got started here. I'm not actually going to be doing an unboxing of the landing gear. There's plenty of videos out there on YouTube that show this. I'm just going to get into how I set things up. I drilled, I cut, just the meat and potatoes and how this thing goes together. So let me show you the first step I had done. I'd take the two knuckles here and laid them out on a flat surface, put the orange bar in between. I measured in between knuckles, knuckle to knuckle, outside to outside is 27 inches. Then I measured on the inside to find out it looks like it's about 4 7/8 to where I brought the orange bar back to and stopped. So your bar may be longer, may be shorter, but just center it in this 27 inches inside. And once you got your bar centered, go ahead and take the 4 set screws and screw those in and tighten it down. Because once you have those down, this is not ever going to move. Okay, the next step in the process is actually centering your knuckle assembly on your kayak from left to right and drilling 2 5/16 holes on either side. So once you line this up left to right in the middle, you can take a 5/16 drill and drill to the back edge of each one of the slots. And when you're done, you should have 2 and 2 holes. You should have 4 holes in total. Okay, the next step involves taking the 2 pieces of UHMW that Boonedox sent you, which you should have 2 pieces identical to this. The length and width may vary from package to package. The dimensions I have on my drawings are per what they sent me. Yours may fluctuate, an 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch, but just adjust all the dimensions accordingly. So they send 2 of these. I actually just used 1. I got the 2 backing plates that I cut out of 1 plate, and I'm using this just as a spare if I ever get another kayak. So this one here I can just set aside. So the dimensional drawings that I have are right here. You start out with the original piece right here, which I have the original width, original length, and I got the cut line right in half. So you cut it right in half and you'll end up with 2 pieces. Now to fabricate those 2 pieces, this is the drawing that I used for that. So it shows the original width, and the cut edge is where the cut length is at 3 15/16. But you notice it's got some bevels on the corners, it's got a notch, and it's got 2 holes. So those are the dimensions to make 2 pieces. You can make them identical. You're going to have a left and right. To get the left and right, all you have to do is flip it upside down. So that's the dimensions for the backing plate. Now they also sent you a wedge, 2 wedges. So this is the dimensions that you need to use to drill those, which gives you original length and width, and it shows you the whole spacing and everything, which corresponds to the slots on the actual knuckles. So the 2 pieces afterward are right here. So you got the wedge, you get the thick end, thin end with 2 holes, and also the backing plate. So you should have two of these plates. They should be identical. Like I said, to make a left or a right, all you have to do is flip it over and you're good. Now, to show you how those backing plates are installed, I'm going to show you, line it up with the two holes you have there, and you can see how the notch is for the side there. When it's inside, there's a tolerance in there where it's back far enough where it doesn't interfere with the wall thickness of that side coming up right there. You got a 45-degree here, so it doesn't interfere with anything there. You got another 45-degree angle on that end, so don't interfere with that angle. And that's how it would be installed on the inside. And that's both sides, left and right. Okay, now I have went ahead and installed the wedge. You can see the wedge here on the end of the knuckle, and it's going to be one on each side. One additional thing you're going to have to do is the screws that originally came with the Boonedox, which are these right here, are actually too small. I think these are like about 1.5 inches long. Well, they need to be a little longer. They need to be 2 inches. So I purchased some 2-inch ones, which is this longer one here. I got them from the Bolt Depot online, and they're stainless steel. They're identical to the others. Make sure you put a flat washer on top. Put them back down. And one more thing I had to do, I did it for myself. You can do it via the access plate in the back of the kayak by fishing a wire down through the holes that we've already drilled into the kayak here, fishing a wire back to that, grabbing everything and bringing it up. It's a little more difficult for me to do that, so what I did is I went ahead and put a hatch underneath the seat here. This is a 4-inch hatch. So I drilled a hole in the kayak here, or cut a hole in it, and that way I can get all of my backing plates in there. I can also get the stainless steel locking plates through there, and I can get my arm up in there, and it's a whole lot easier for me to do. It's your option if you wanted to do that, but it is a 4-inch deck hatch. And once I get done bolting everything together, I can screw down this, and it's watertight. And it gives me another access inside the boat to do other things, wiring and different things like that. So the next step is to go ahead and grab one of your backing plates and grab one of your stainless steel locking plates there, put them together, and you can reach inside, line them up, and you can take and screw your bolts into that locking plate, and then get an Allen wrench, and then you can really torque those down to get them down as tight as you need to get them. Once you get the assembly bolted on and it's all tight, you can go ahead and insert your wheel arms here, and you can see at if the orange spacer bar is in the correct position, when you put these in, they'll go in and they'll stop, and there's still clearance where this will not hit the side of the kayak. Let's see if I can show you. You can see there's some clearance in there. And if you had purchased one of the earlier models of the Boonedox, which I do have, I actually purchased one prior to this kayak coming out. I didn't know that the arm length needed to be longer. You can purchase these arms, these wheel arms here, longer ones from Boonedox to work with the other, the older style Boonedox. But you will need the longer ones. If you don't, the tires are going to rub on the bottom of the kayak. So I'm going to put all the links down below where I got the bolts and everything So this is just my interpretation on setting this up for my kayak. You know, hopefully this will help somebody else out. Like I say, I'm going to take some photos and I'm going to put those in there as well, so you have something to really go by. I hope it came out in the video when I videoed those dimensional drawings, but I'm going to try and snap some photos of them and put them in there as well. So good luck, and we'll see you next time.